Okay, what about a younger child, 2 or 3, who diagnosed with cancer and ends up dying? I have a baby granddaughter who's 6 weeks old who has a severe leak in a heart valve, 2 heart problems right now, severe leak in a heart valve and an electrical problem where her heart beats way too fast, double issue. So, man, I'm praying about that. But at the same time, I don't believe that was caused by God. I don't understand it all. I don't say, why me, God? Because in light of everything that happens in the world, it's like, why not me? You can believe this is probably the forefront of my fasting and prayers these days. But I'm not so sure. I'm just speaking like I don't know. But if that's not some of the same thing, Down syndrome and so forth, is that not part of the same virus that was loaded in this program that became a virus in God's good design? I don't know. But at the same thing, God shows up in weakness. And how we see joy and love in people like Down syndrome. One of our disciples in this church, 50 or 51-year-old Down syndrome male, who's made a couple of trips to work at Katrina. It's in the vulnerable that we most sometimes find the love of God. I don't know. I mean, these are great questions that we don't have. Questions I have too are, God never intended the brutal rape of children. And that's not what God designed. But instead of me saying why, I'm a part of a community that says, why not do something about it? So this morning we have an anger management class down at Fort McKinley. We've created a counseling center. We advocate, we travel around the world and are activists against human slavery, human trafficking. When we bring our offerings together, this is why our money is not going to build bigger church buildings and so forth, but to really be a part of God's redemptive purpose in the world. Every week we make that decision to make that sacrifice. It's not about what I have, but how am I making a difference? And in my 4 seconds on earth, 4 seconds in God's scheme of things, I want to make sure that when I get to the end of it, that I really used it for what God intended it for. That we're a part of this redemptive, that God doesn't leave us. Pain is not the last word. Though you may have tears for a moment, you'll have joy in the morning. And that is what I believe God is doing on planet Earth. There's a restoration.